Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum. It has seen a nice move up recently. We are now at $1,844, but let's take this one step at a time. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Let's give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go for 300,000 subscribers. We're closing in on it pretty quickly, so hopefully we'll get there before not too long. So Ethereum is going through this basically what I would call consolidation period. Okay, in this region right here, I could probably draw that a little bit better. Basically, up in this region, and it's consolidating in this region, and it's been doing so basically for a couple months now, since the beginning of February. And this is what I've called before, our overvaluation reaccumulation zone. And now that the price has started to go up, I think we hit like some crazy level of fear with Ethereum a few days ago, with a lot of people saying that you should sell your Ethereum because it just isn't gaining like the other cryptocurrencies. But remember, there is risk. There's more risk involved with other cryptocurrencies, and I do think that risk is worth taking on for some positions, but it does not detract from a position in Ethereum, in my opinion. Okay, so everyone's getting excited now because we know the Ether Bitcoin valuation has moved up a little bit, right, over the last day or so. If we go look at the weekly time frame here, we can see that it is in fact moving up. But again, don't schedule your Forbes interviews just yet. We still aren't even back into our general uptrend channel. We're still sort of, undervalued below that. For instance, back over here to the bottom of these candles, we went about 12.5%. To the bottom of the wicks, we went about 24%, about 12.5% down. And right now we're currently down 6%, 7%, and we also went around 10 to 11% down. So I think a lot of people are getting somewhat excited, but always remaining cautiously optimistic, because every time we get too excited, we've seen it pull back some. So if you look at the Ether USD valuation, you can see that, we trended up, we broke 2,000, and then we came back down, and then we trended back up to around 1,900, and then we came back down, and now we're coming back up for the third time. Now we're currently at 1,843, but we would like to see ourselves break above these prior weekly candle tops, okay, where we had these weekly candle tops. Of course, we had wicks above it, but we would like to break above that in order to see a continuation of Ethereum to put in potentially a new all-time high. I think that if we do break $2,000 a second time, I think that things can get moving relatively quickly. Okay, so that is sort of my opinion on things. I'm not saying that it will break 2K in the short term. I'm saying if we do, I think it will get moving relatively quickly. And of course, the downside risk, as always in a bull market at the very least, is the 20-week moving average, which now is only a 31% drop. A few weeks ago, it was substantially more, closer to a 40% drop. But in a bull market, as long as we're consolidating, a lot of times time is on our side, right? Time is on our side. And so the 20-week moving average is slowly pulling up to it. If you look at the macro scale here, it looks really interesting because, we had this major move back in March. We went above it, and then we sort of moved sideways for a while until we got back to the bull market support band, which again is a combination of the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA. And then we had another move up, and then we more or less just moved sideways into the bull market support band. And then we've had another move up, and we're starting to move sideways again. What's interesting is, I think one of the most painful ways that some people might experience this market is if it were to go sideways. People like volatility. They want it to go up. They want it to go down. And I agree, there's a good chance the volatility remains somewhat high. I mean, we've been going from $2,000 down to 1,400, back up to 1,900, back down to 1,500, back up to 1,800. So there is a decent level of volatility, but we can't discount the potential. One scenario is that we maybe move sideways for a bit longer, and if it would be as frustrating as possible for people, it would likely do something like this, where this just slowly moves up, kind of like we've done in the past, and maybe this just moves sideways in it and then moves up. Not saying that's going to happen, but that would be one possibility that most people are probably not considering as a possibility to happen. With that said, I'm just sort of looking at this $2,000 level and hoping that we are able to break through it at some point, in the not so distant future. And then once we do, I think that the valuation of Ethereum could start moving relatively quickly. Be prepared for the downside risk. If you're curious where the 20-week moving average is, today it's actually at $1,274.83, and then the 21-week EMA, which is sort of the upper bound of the bull market support band now, is at $13.31.88. And the reason we use this is basically because last cycle, this is where we bounced off a few different times during the bull market. We also bounced off it earlier as well in the bull market. And then we had one phase where we went to this undervaluation territory where we went below the bull market support band for about 3 months. So we'll see how this cycle plays out. I'm still relatively bullish on Ethereum long term in the grand scheme of the market cycle. I would not worry too much about short-term moves. I do think the time is on our side in the grand scheme of the cycle, but I don't necessarily think that's going to happen tomorrow. So maybe we'll now break out tomorrow. Anyways, if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember, we have the altcoin season sale. It is ending tomorrow, so make sure you guys sign up. You can sign up through the end of tomorrow, so you still have about a day and a half. You can lock in the lower rate for the altcoin season sale if you want. You get access to the weekly reports and videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the Telegram chat room, the risk dashboard, the premium only live streams, and more. Make sure you guys check it out. Also, the Into the Cryptoverse app. Check it out, sign up before the price go up, and you can lock in the lower rate. Also, subscribe to the channel. Let's hit that 300,000 subscriber mark here in the next week or so. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.